Hello guys, this is Siddiq Salis and welcome to my channel. In this video, I just want to answer or address a regular question that is oftenly posted to me by colleagues, and colleagues here I mean friends and largely fellow students. Okay, so the question, before we move on to the question and the answer, please kindly check the subscription button. If it's still red, click on it and subscribe if you have not. Please kindly do that. You will not be charged for that. You'll not be charged for that. Please kindly do that. And then click on the ding dong bell for me, okay? So that we'll grow the family together. Yes, back to the question. So people normally ask or regularly ask, especially when it's their first time meeting me or they've been seeing me from afar, they normally ask me directly and sometimes through WhatsApp. They normally ask, Siddiq, we find the semester to be tough, tiring, tedious. We find ourselves wanting, anxious, with anxiety. But hey, we see you to be too cool with the semester. We see it to be too cool. We find learning to be World Cup. We find learning to be tedious. We find learning to be tiring. We find learning to be something like we just need a degree. We need a master's. We need this. We just wanted to just get some job or promotion. But you find learning, you make learning look so interesting, and you look so cool with the semester. You look so easy. You vibe around. You flow. You so cool with the semester. What's the secret? And that's what I have to share with you. It's an open secret. You know, I have many colleagues like me, especially from the pilot community. And I want to mention names. Those of you normally ask this question. Many people, but there's one person, anytime he meets me, he wants to ask that question, and that is Joseph. Joseph reading psychology and sociology. And this Joseph, I mean the one who works with Joseph with multimedia. And then Winnie also asked me this question, like Winifred reading psychology. Let me give you, I have a lot of names to mention, many names to mention. And I quite remember I had a class with my colleagues. They had research in biological psychology. That was somewhere last year. And I happened to be their tutor for the research. I volunteered to help them. And this is what happened. When we finished the first and second session of the class, finished the first and second session of the class. I'm trying to position something well here. Okay, when we finished the first and second session of the class within a day, some of them, Winnie, if you remember, and those of them who were there, and if you are watching this video, they remember. After the second session, they were like, Winnie was like, and they were all nodding to the affirmative of that question. They were like, Siddiq, does it mean the course was not interesting last year or last semester, and this semester, like, it's been spiced up? Or maybe we didn't get the opportunity to meet right lecturers to make the course interesting. You are our guy, you are our colleague, and you are making it look so simple and interesting. I said, yes, indeed, the course is interesting. Indeed, the most interesting course in the world to study. Like William James Kellogg stated in his book, Biological Psychology. The most interesting. But the problem wasn't maybe the lecturers or the TAs. Okay, the problem might be you. Yes, I know some factors might be some of those taking the courses. I mean, the TAs and so on and so forth. But that's not always the case. Most times it is. So the course might be you. You burden yourself with things that are of less importance. Okay? So till you take yourself out of that shackle, you wouldn't get what I'm saying. So they were asking me, how do I make that? Like when I'm lecturing, or my colleagues, when I'm taking my colleagues, when I'm discussing the course with my colleagues, and when I move on campus, when I move around on campus, I look so cool, like there's no burden, so free. And when I flow, I flow. When I vibe, I flow with the course. So what's the secret? So this is the secret. It's an open secret. Like I said, most of my colleagues are also like that. This open secret is we begin the semester before the semester. I begin the semester before the semester begins itself. You see? So before the semester begins, I begin. What do I mean? I go by the slides. I make timetable for myself. And the shackles I was talking about is social media, your phone. So what I do is I delete the social media. And I don't use much for social media, Facebook and WhatsApp. And I delete them. Before the semester begins, let's say a month before the semester begins, I give myself pressure with my books, the slides, before the semester begins. Okay, so I go through things, I go through stuff with understanding, and I consult YouTube, to watch videos on things I don't understand, and I have the textbooks to read. Okay, so I give myself that pressure instead with the phones, because you have much time on your hand. But you see, with the phone, with WhatsApp, the people are texting you, you have to reply them. And yeah, I know some of you, that's where your business is, but I'm talking to those, yeah, like myself. Okay, but hey, it's education here we're talking about. So you have to reply this message, and the messages sometimes come with heartbroken vibes and all that. So take yourself off that shackle. I delete Facebook, and then I'll give myself pressure with the book. So my slides, so I'm reading 4 sessions per day. Okay, and then I read my books along. If I get to a point I don't understand, I go to the books and then read. Consult YouTube for a video. Okay, type the topic I don't understand to see if I find a video. So some of the videos that I did not find, especially with regards to University of Ghana courses and the mode of learning and everything, I'll try my best to put it up here. So that's what I do. I burden myself. I busy myself with the books a month before the semester. So before the semester begins, it's like I'm done with the semester. So when we come on campus, it's like we are moving around, but that's why you see me so cool. I come to lecture sometimes without book, without exercise book to take any notes. I just come to sit down to listen to the lecturer. Students were thinking I'm some kind of, how do you call it? Genius or something. No, that's not a thing. That's not a thing. I'm not a genius. I don't see myself to be a genius. That's what I do. So I come to lectures and I feel so cool. I just listen to the lecturer. So when students were saying me to be a genius, I have to start bringing textbook, exercise book to be taking notes, by force notes. Yes, sometimes it helps. So when I listen, when the lecturer is lecturing and I listen, it enhances my understanding. Okay, so this is basically what I do prior to reopening of school or reopening of the semester. And then with that, I find myself so cool with the semester. I find myself so cool with the learning. And another brilliant thing I think I do is trying to help others. I help others and in return, it helps me. Okay, so I try to impact what I have learned into my colleagues who needs it. So that's why I don't joke with the University of Ghana pilot community. I don't joke. I don't joke with the pilot community because because of that structure, the structure of the pilot community, it gives me the opportunity to also help impact, okay, large number of people, and that's it. So I teach my fellow colleagues and my juniors that's trying to help them, and then it also helps me a lot because it makes me retain what I have learned, okay? So that's why people complain about, you don't take money from people, you have to do this. Hey, sometimes the people maybe don't have money, or it's not about all about money. If it's time to take money, we take money if it's very necessary. Yes, I do take when it's necessary, man. But the optimum goal is to make sure I impact in my fellow colleagues because I like to grow with those around me. I like to jubilate success with those around me than to be jubilating alone whilst they are sad. And then the next, so to teach, to the best way to teach, they say, is to learn, and the best way to learn is to teach. So that's what I do. And the last thing I think it's when it comes to studies that I think is brilliant with the pilot community, I engage myself. That's why I don't let it down. That's why I don't let the community down, because it gives me the opportunity. It gives some of us, the colleagues, the opportunity when those who are attend to speak. You see, you've learned something from a book, you discuss it with friends, with colleagues. This one brings an argument, you argue it deductively or inductively, and it makes you retain, like practically, that those events serve as cue for you. So for me, it helps me a lot. The group discussion, especially with the pilot community, with the pilot community, when people are coming, they come prepared, and so when engaging with them, it's kind of it's kind of argument on the topic and on a question, and it helps me a lot. And then apart from the study structure, I try my best. I'm the kind of person who don't hold grudges against people, but if I know someone, if there's this person who tries to play smart on students or people, or anywhere I find myself, I try to fight that corruption or that corrupted person, or the one who is trying to be smart on people. But apart from those kind of negative people, I don't pay attention to those kind of stuff. If I say this is wrong, and then we move on from there. I don't hold grudges. I'm that kind of person because I'm a Muslim, and Islam teaches me that. So basically, yes, I keep a free and clean heart, a loyal heart towards friends and colleagues. If they win, I celebrate with them. I jubilate with them. Even though I remember there was a course I taught my colleagues, and we went to write IE, and they came with even fresh mind, nothing in the head, and I impacted it in them. And we went, and all of them, they passed me. They had a better mark than mine, and I was so happy for them. Yeah, so that kind of heart has also helped me. Yeah, and basically, so I hope I've answered your questions. Pharaoh, Winnie, Joseph, Ben, guys, I hope I've answered your questions. You are many, I can't mention all of you, but if you're watching, some of you, if you're watching, you know you've asked me this question before, or you want to ask me, I've answered it. Please don't forget, if you have not subscribed. Please, those of you subscribing twice, don't subscribe twice, it's only once. That's all. If the red thing is gone up there, that is it. You subscribe twice, it means you've unsubscribed. So please don't subscribe again. Subscribe once, the red is gone, click on, and when you have clicked on the bell for once, please, let's do it that way. Please, let's help the family grow. Let's share the video with friends to also benefit from it. And if you have a question for me, you can leave it. Please leave it in the comment section below. Put your question there. Any comment, you can put it there. Okay, so revive the next time. If I come, I will read it. The next time I'll read it before coming, so I'll come and address the question. There are a lot of questions that I have to answer, but the tutorials is also semester is about to begin, so we have to start some tutorials too here. So guys, see you in the next video. Thank you for watching, and my name remains Siddiq Salis. Thank you for watching.